Okay, this is day 3 for Math 1. So solving one variable inequalities, part 1, one step. Okay, so we have x, let's see, x plus 7 is greater than 4. Okay, so we want to get x by itself. So how we do that is we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. So you see minus 7, and then 7 minus 7 is 0, so what's left there is an x. Your sign, the greater than sign, stays the same, and then 4 take away 7 is negative 3. You see that the circle is open, okay, because the sign doesn't have a line underneath it, and x is greater than negative 3, so you put a circle on negative 3, and it goes towards the larger numbers. Okay, on the next one we have 5x is less than or equal to 30. To get the x by itself, you have to divide because it's 5 times x, so you always do the opposite. So divide 5 and then divide 5 on both sides. When you divide 5 into 5, you have x, and then your sign comes down, and then 5 goes into 30 6 times. So x is less than or equal to 6. So you color in your dot, and it's less than, so it's going toward the negative numbers. Okay, we have m over negative 4 is greater than 2. Okay, so in order to get rid of the negative 4 that's on the bottom, we're going to multiply it, okay, and put it on the top, okay, and that crosses out. And then on the other side, you do the same thing. So we multiplied negative 4 to one side, and then we're going to multiply negative 4 to the other side. So negative 4 divided by negative 4, or negative 4 times m over negative 4 cancels out. So we just have an m. And then on the other side, we have 2 times negative 4 equals negative 8. So m is less than negative 8. Okay? But it says whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number to both sides of the inequality, the inequality sign flips. So anytime you're dividing or multiplying by a negative, you're going to flip the sign at the end. Okay? So in this case, it's an open circle, and it says m is less than negative 8. Okay, next example. Negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 9. So again, we have negative 3 times x. So I want to get x by itself. So I'm going to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division, and I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 cancels out, and I have an x. Negative 3 goes into negative 9 3 times. Okay, I think this is a typo because whenever you have two negatives, so if I divide a negative by a negative, I'm going to end up with a positive. So it should be x is greater than or equal to 3. So I think this example may be a teacher's error. So, but this is just an example, but you would put your filled in circle on not negative 3, but 3, and it would go to the larger numbers. Okay? Okay, so let's look at your first problem on your assignment. It says n minus 11 is greater than negative 7. So I want to get rid of that negative 11 or minus 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, okay? I'm going to add 11 to both sides. Okay, so I have n minus 11 is greater than minus 7. Add 11, add 11. Okay, so now I have n minus 11 is greater than minus 7, but I've added the 11, so now I can cross the 11s out, bring down my n, bring down my greater than sign, and it says negative 7, or yeah, negative 7 plus 11, so we get 4. Okay, so let's look at number 2. 4 is less than or equal to negative 2 plus n. Okay, so I want to get the n by itself, so I plus 2 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. I bring my sign down. I cross my 2's out. Now I have to bring down my n. So now I have 6 is less than or equal to n, or if I just flip it and put the n first, it's n is greater than or equal to 6. You can write it either way. Okay, number 3 over here is just like number 1, so you guys do that one on your own. Number 4 is different. We have 120 is greater than or equal to minus 20 y. So we have minus 20 times y. So in this one we need to, step 1, get y by itself. Okay, since we have negative 20 times y, the opposite is negative 20 divided by y. So you're going to divide both sides by negative 20. Then you're able to cancel out the 20s, the negative 20s, and that leaves you with y, okay? And then negative 20 goes into 120 negative 6 times. So we have negative 6 is greater than, it should be an equal to on the end. There should be a line underneath it. Greater than or equal to y. And it says don't forget to flip your sign because you divided by a negative number. Okay, so let's go over to 4. See how there's a line underneath it? I forgot to put my line. So down here at the bottom where it says y is greater than negative 6, it should be y is greater than or equal to. So put a line under there, okay? Oh, this is blurry. Okay, it did not turn out good. Okay, let's look at number 8. It says, okay, so these are the ones where you have to solve them and put it on the number line, okay? So let's look at number 8. Negative 6n is less than negative 42. So let's look at 8. So we have, sorry guys. Negative 6n is less than minus 42. Did I skip the one? Oh, it's, okay. Okay. Up above 8 actually is 6, okay? So let's go back and look at 6 first, okay? My picture is so blurry. Okay. So 4 plus e is less than 15, okay? Okay, so up here it says 4 plus e is less than 15. So I minus 4, minus 4. Cross my 4's out, bring my e down, bring my sign down, and then 15 take away 4 is 11. So I have an open circle on 11, and it's going towards 0, okay, because it's less than. Okay, now number 8. We'll go back to number 8 now. So we have negative 6n is less than minus 42. Okay, so I have the negative 6 attached to the n, so that's multiplication, so I have to divide both sides by negative 6. Cross out your negative 6, That leaves you with n. And then we have -6 goes into -42. The signs are the same, so you end up with a +7. Also, you have to flip the sign because you divide it by a negative number. So you have n is greater than 7. So you have an open circle, and it's going to the bigger numbers, okay? It's going towards the 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's look at number 9. Okay, so we have x, or no, that's a z. Z over -2 is greater than 3. So z over -2 is greater than 3. Okay, so I want to get rid of that -2. So I multiplied both sides by -2. So that ends up, those -2's cross out on that z side, leaving me with a z. Okay, and then on the other side I have 3 times -2, so I get -6. So it says z is greater than -6, but then I have to remember that I multiplied by -2, so I have to flip the sign. So when I flip it, I'll put an open circle, and it'll be going to the smaller or negative numbers, okay? Okay, so this is the last one for day 3 of Math 1, okay? So we have x over 4 is greater than or equal to 2, okay? So again, I want to get rid of that 4. It's on the bottom, so I'm going to put one on the top, which is multiplication, to get rid of it, okay? So if I multiply one side, I need to multiply the other side. So I multiply both sides by 4. The x side cancels out, so I'm left with x. The sign stays the same, and then I have 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have a circle that's filled in, and it's going to be going to 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. Okay, so that's it for day 3. We'll work on day 4 tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye, guys.